Okay, there's no decoding necessary to the music video Kids by MGMT, but before we quote-unquote decode it, and again it's blatant and obvious and in your face, let's cover 1 minute of symbolism material. What I'm going to be drawing your attention to is the spiral triangle, which they use to dot the I, right there, spiral triangle, which they use to dot the I in the word kids. The music video I'm about to show you could not be made today. It was made 10 or 15 years ago before Pizzagate enlightened people to some of these symbols that are known to the FBI to be a method of communication used by traffickers and people who engage in that type of a lifestyle. Music video starts out with a bunch of flames in the background and MGMT, the name of the band. And the name of this music video and the song is Kids. Notice the I. Next scene. He who fights with monsters might take care lest he thereby become a monster. And if you gaze for long into an abyss, the abyss gazes also into you. Mark Twain. And throughout that initial countdown, you hear a bunch of kids squealing and screaming in the background. Then the first scene here is this kid in a crib. And he's smiling as these monstrous claws reach through the railing in the crib. And they grab a hold of him. And now he's not smiling no more. This is only one of the few scenes where they draw tears from this kid, traumatizing him in ways that surely gave him nightmares in real life. And they show you the view from inside the crib, but it's a very dark scene. It's hard to actually get a good still frame of this, where the kid's looking up at all the monsters surrounding the crib. And this ain't CGI, this ain't acting. They terrorize this kid and traumatize this kid for the purpose of making this music video. You know the outro often says to some movies and commercials, no animals were harmed in the making of this video. That's not the case with this music video. No children were traumatized in the making of this video is not correct. There's more than one scene where the kid has real tears. And they keep flashing back and forth between the scene of the monsters above the crib and around the crib back to the kid that's in the crib being terrorized. Notice the blood stains on the edge of the crib right here. So what appears to look like blood stains. And the blood stains on the right hand corner of the crib over there. I'm going to take over the audio from here on because they get out of sync. Notice the blood on the right hand corner. They go back and forth between scenes. And you'll see the tears that are on his face are real. The reason I'm taking over the audio is because the audio and video get out of sync every time I pause it and start the recording. In between scenes, it gets off by a half second. So by the end of the video, here you can see real tears on the kid. By the end of the video, the audio and video are out of sync by a few seconds. Remember that because I'm going to go back to the audio of the original video. So here his mom comes and grabs him, takes him out of the crib, and they're going to go out for their day. and go do whatever they're going to do. And now he's happy. He's not freaked out no more. And they go outside, and you can see normal people walking around them, like the guy behind her, and monsters. And that's why the kid's tripping, because he can see the monsters everywhere. Like that one. And those ones. So they've truly traumatized this kid multiple times for the making of this video. So this guy was just standing there on the corner reading a newspaper, and when he pulls the newspaper down, you can see that he's a monster, just like the one behind the kid over there, just like that one over here to the right. And so then the kid's walking down the street through a line of people on both sides. There are these monsters that are kind of reaching out for him. And so then he takes off running, freaked out by all these monsters that are all around him, trying to reach at him. And about this time, he's freaked out again. And now he's back to a happy place. He's just standing there. These are the sick fucks that make this music video, MGMT. And it looks like a police officer found the kid and gives him back to his mom. And as you can see, the police officer's a monster. And he's got a headband on that says MGMT. And here in a minute, she takes the headband off. He got MGMT'd. And the good police officer came and gave him back when they were done. That's not a car seat that he's sitting in. That's a stylized cage. No car seat looks like that. Notice the armrest that he has his right arm on is like a metallic thing with ridges. Doesn't look too comfortable. The belt that he's wearing is not a seat belt. It's a leather strap with metallic studs. Like S&M bondage gear. That's not a car seat. That is meant to symbolize and represent a cage with metal bars, just like the seat belt. So they're driving down the road. They see these people in a car beside them that are like these freak monsters trying to lean out. And the kid's like not too into that stuff. Again, that's not a car seat. That's a cage. It isn't even just a symbolic reference to a cage. It's a freaking cage with metal bars. That is not a seat belt. That's a sexy belt. And then it shows the wolf in sheep's clothing. A reference to the predator who acts like a nice guy. Here, you want some candy? I got some candy. Or as we'll see here in a minute, the guy... Here you have the pig caricature standing above a child that's lying down, and they show it whacking the kid in the face like 15 times in 1 second. That's the pig, that's the kid's face, and that's where he's whacking him for 15 hits in like a second. Very rapidly and repeatedly. Back to the kid in cage. I mean a car seat. Back to the wolf in sheep's clothing. Back to more of the puppets. And back to the kid in the cage. This is a calling card back to the wolf in sheep's clothing. This is like a business card, an advertising, just like the FBI said in the beginning. They use these symbols for advertising. Then they cut to a cartoonized version of the kid in the car seat cage. And then they cut through all of these cartoon images. They flash from one to another to another to another. And then they cut to the pizza and hot dogs. And because of the Pizzagate scandal, we now know what these symbols represent. Pizza and hot dogs. You're going to hear Salty Cracker use that and reference that here in a minute. There's more of the hot dogs. These guys are just really into hot dogs and pizza. These are all symbols. They couldn't make this music video today. This is like 13 years old. And about 8 years ago or so, when the Pizzagate scandal broke, people learned what these symbols mean. Cheese pizza is a reference to child prawns, and we can't even say it, or we get removed, because the institutions have been so infiltrated with people that promote and perpetuate and propagate this lifestyle. So there's a cartoonized version of the kid squirting tears. But remember, the ultimate thing here is to just never go full Santos. We'll talk about that in a minute. Never, ever, ever, ever go full Santos. It's definitely a promotional advertisement for this type of lifestyle. The spiral, just like the spiral triangle and the spiral heart, the spiral itself is one of these symbols that they use to communicate to others who know the language of symbolism to advertise what they're into to other people who can read the symbols and go, oh yeah, notice, what kind of music you into? Oh, little this, little that, little this band, that band. What about MGMT? Oh yeah, I love that band. How about that music video, kids? Oh yeah, I saw that, I love that. Hey, let's go have a cup of coffee. We got a lot in common. So along with pizza and hot dogs, apparently ham and hamburgers is another symbolic reference that's within these people's lexicon and language of symbolism, because they included in this music video, along with the pizza and hot dogs, and there's enough other stuff surrounding it that clearly that's the language they're speaking in this music video. Again, people know that language and symbols now. They could not make that these days without people saying, what the fuck is this? Go get these guys laptops and cell phones and everyone within their network around them who they associate with, because there's definitely some bad shit going on within this network of people who made this music video. They couldn't make this today because enough people know the language of this type of symbolism after the Pizzagate thing. So here they show ham and hamburgers, and they've already shown the hot dogs, and then they mix it in with some pizza, and we know what that's a reference to since the Gate scandal. I've already said Pizzagate enough times, so I guess I can keep saying it. So here you got the pizza, the hamburgers, and the hot dogs. I guess these guys are just really into fast food. No, they're really into traumatizing little kids. That's what this music video is all about. And these are symbolic references to that type of trafficking lifestyle. And it's just subtle enough that the average person doesn't see it. But for those who do speak the language and see the symbols and know what they mean, it's blatant, it's right in your face, it's a flashing neon sign. So this is the last scene, where this monster's chasing this kid in cartoon land. And the kid's running away from him and sees a hand reaching down, a giant hand reaching down. So he climbs up on the finger of the hand, climbs into the palm of the hand. And it turns out this is the hand of the lead singer of this band. That's the lead singer of MGMT right there, who's got the kid in the palm of his hand. And then he turns into a monster and throws the kid into his mouth. He devours and consumes the child. And the child falls down into the black hole of his throat. And that's the very last scene. Now we're going to switch back to the audio, which is about 5 seconds behind the video at this point. But I'm just going to turn the main audio back on and let it go over. As long as you know, the audio that you're about to hear is about 5 seconds behind the visual images you're about to see as I describe some of the comments in this video and some other things. And then he starts to morph into a monster and throws the kid down his throat, and the kid falls into the black hole of his throat. I'll just keep it on this type of audio so we can hear both. Notice the eyes. The eyes in this are all dotted. Why aren't I hearing anything? Anyway, the eyes are all dotted with that triangle within a triangle. The last scene we just looked at. Back to the beginning where it says, "He who fights with monsters might take care lest he thereby become a monster." That is a reference to the victim becoming the perpetrator in the cycle of sexual abuse. And if you ask this guy, what are you expressing through your artistic expression here? He would probably say, oh, well, I was abused as a child, and this was my way of expressing my inner self. It's pretty clear to me. Notice on every one of the eyes, on the word fight, on the word might, on the word with, there is a triangle dotting the eye. The same triangle as seen in this image that starts the video out. So amongst people that are into that kind of thing, they could just... Notice the Domino's Pizza advertisement at the top. And that this was made 13 years ago. What about MGMT? Oh yeah, I like them. Yeah, you ever seen the music video, kids? Oh yeah, I saw that. I like that music video. Hey man, let's go have a cup of coffee, have a talk. It's a calling card. It is clearly selling something, and people didn't know what they were looking at. It's chock full of the symbolism that has been made known to the general public in recent years. As you can see here, they got a Domino's Pizza ad right on top. And this video was made 13 years ago, long before the Pizzagate debacle, long before people knew what these symbols mean. And this music group has 1.11 million subscribers. I think more people ought to know what it is they're looking at here, what is being promoted and celebrated in this music video. Here's the top-rated comment, 19,000 likes. That kid is either doing some intense life therapy or never going to be scared of anything in their life. Ha ha ha. The second most liked comment with 6.6 thousand. Song is amazing, and choice with the kid is powerful. I hope he is okay, though. Just going down the line here, the third comment in line, considering if they didn't completely traumatize the child, this was an incredible take on how scary the world is when you're young. Very next comment, can we just take a minute to honor how tough this kid is for being put through this horrifying experience at such a young age? Here's a comment that I scrolled down past about 4 or 5 comments to find this one. This song still makes me cry. Shout out to everyone who survived child abuse or child molestation. I love you. We're stronger now. How about this one? The first time I saw this video, it hit me so profoundly that I was sobbing for at least an hour. I remembered so well what the kid is going through. Apart from the confusing animation at the end, I'm not smart enough to ascribe a significant meaning to the art. Or you're just in denial. This child is at least 12 years old now. In about 2 or 3 more years, he will probably be able to tell us if the filming of this video clip affected him or not. Here's a clip from their music video, Electric Feel, and you can see all these animated machine characters that are from a pizza parlor. Chuck E. Cheese, Showbiz Pizza. There's probably others that have the same thing. This is another pizza reference in their song Electric Feel music video. I'm sure some of you remember seeing these machine animated characters on a stage at a pizza parlor from your younger days. But I'm sure that's just a coincidence. That whole pizza thing, that wasn't real. That was a conspiracy. That stuff doesn't really exist. The only reason evil is allowed to persist and thrive is because good men and women who do nothing, and because it is so inconvenient and uncomfortable to see this when it's right in your face, most people compartmentalize it and disassociate from it. Otherwise, they have a moral obligation and responsibility to do something about it, and that's why they don't. And that's why this can be right in our face the way it is. But remember, never, ever, ever, ever go full Santos. You can see the title of this video in the upper left-hand corner. He's offering free fent, and the other sign that he has up on his tent is free meth for stolen items. And he's right across from an elementary school, and this is an example of how deeply infiltrated the institutions and organizations are. You can see a cop car just to the left of the guy standing there. That's a police vehicle with a cop standing in front of it, right behind him. Let's watch this video.
Been in San Francisco, basically homeless for 26 years.
46-year-old Adam Moore tells me he has lived on the sidewalk across the street from Stella Maris Academy for more than 2 years, and that his sign offering free fentanyl for new users is no joke. However, it's his past that's led to some concerns. Moore is on the Megan's Law website for lewd and lascivious acts with a child under the age of 14.
Boom! Hour of confusion, boys. You might be a little bit confused in this scenario. You're sitting there going, whoa, 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 what the hell is going on over here? You've got a homeless drug addict in front of a small school? What is going on? This is fine. Not only is that fine, that dude's a convicted kid fucker. Anything? No? No? You've got a convicted kid fucker, homeless, offering free fentanyl to new users outside an elementary school. The cops don't want to do anything. The mayor doesn't want, nobody wants to do anything over here. You know why? And you know why you're confused? Because you're looking at it like a rational person. Stop looking at it like a rational person. These people are all kid fuckers. The people in that public school right there, pretending to be educators and administrators, it's San Francisco. You know it, full of pederasses. Kool-Aid haired moron pederasses teaching the small children how to butt fuck each other. The entire classroom full of everything but American flags, right? Palestinian flags, BLM flags, rainbow flags, Truny flags, every single flag. Israel flag, Ukraine flag, but not that American flag, because America sucks, boys. By the way, after recess, go across the street and go get some free fentanyl and some pizza and hot dogs from the dude who's homeless. Again, trying to sell drugs to people. You can't get arrested. It's impossible to get arrested in this stupid fucking place. And if you're wondering why, it's because it's run by kid fuckers. It's not hard. It's not complicated. Once you stop thinking like a rational person and understand that we're in war, we're in a deep war. Places have been overthrown. This is an occupied area of the enemy in San Francisco and Portland, Seattle. This ain't run by America. This is no longer America. Everything starts to make sense. You say, oh shit, that makes a lot. Yeah. You've got this dude, again, convicted kid fucker, doing lewd acts, convicted of doing lewd acts in front or with a 14-year-old minor. Look at this. He says he was innocent. They're always innocent, boys. Didn't do nothing. Anyhow, here you've got California Megan's Law. Why even have a Megan's Law? What? You're supposed to be able to find out who's a kid fucker around you so you can protect your kids in this area. Why even bother, considering there's no enforcement of this? There's zero enforcement of it. He's not high priority. So you've got a law that says kid fuckers can't be next to a school. And then when it's enemy occupied like it is now, they go in and they start adding other fucking words to it. They go, well, listen, it is illegal for a convicted kid fucker to be around small children. You can't be right outside an elementary school offering free fentanyl, but only if you're high risk. So you can be a convicted kid fucker slinging fentanyl outside an elementary school if you're considered low risk. What makes you low risk? It's madness. If you try to rationalize what's going on, it's going to make you insane. You just need to understand that public school, this police department, this mayor, the city council, this neighborhood, they're all kid fuckers because they're all fine with us. And wokeness over here, this might be the most San Francisco story I've ever heard in my entire life. A convicted child molester set up a tent across from a San Francisco elementary school offering, quote, free fentanyl for new users. He's been doing it for 2 years. Glad the adults are back in the room, boys. I'm glad that the adults are clearly back at the helm of things. Noticing fires all across this planet, the economy here destroyed, Our ability to defend ourselves here destroyed. You've got kid fuckers outside of elementary schools offering free fentanyl to small children for exchange. And so, and the police go, well, listen, man, what do you want us to do? I want you to arrest them. How about that? Well, we can't arrest them because that's just a waste of time, because the criminal shitbag George Soros Democrat district attorney will not charge anybody. Even if they're a known kid fucker hanging out literally in front of a small school with children in it, offering them free drugs. Holy shit. You're going to get everything that you deserve, San Francisco. You're going to get everything that you deserve, Portland, all these Democrat-run places. So, what else could you add to this? What else could it's God, it's time for some more salt, all right? If you got to saltify a place, go for it. I'm all for it. All right, guys. But there you have it. Enemy occupation. Thank you so much for watching the video, supporting the channel. You know, we kept up to date on why a place would allow something like this. Hit that subscribe button and make why. Because the salt must flow.
So here's Mr. Astrotheology, Santos Bonacci's YouTube page that should not still be up. They should have terminated the channel after the first video that he made, but they let him keep going and going and going and going and going. And all of these videos, it's like he was on a meth-fueled bender, and he incited violence against every mainstream person you can imagine. And then he came down, and for one or two videos, he kind of chilled out for a minute. But all of these videos are him inciting violence against every public and private figure, people that I've never even heard of, in ways that you've never heard on YouTube or any of the other platforms. Not only do they violate every community guidelines in terms of service standards 1,000 times in each video, they're illegal. Even T-or-ism threats, inciting his viewers and listeners to go make devices that go kaboom. And they gave him one strike. They should have taken his channel down for egregious violations. Cut it right in the middle of the very first live stream where he started going off like that. So it's fascinating entertainment. And you can read the live chat in any of these live streams that he did. A replay of the live chat. And a lot of people said, is he demon possessed? Where's the real Santos? Is this a clone? Some people said he's under some sort of mind control, Wi-Fi weapon frequency attack, because they've never seen this out of him before, or anything like it. This person says, why does YouTube not take this incitement of violence down? Answer, he's on the payroll and this has all been sanctioned. One way or another, it's clear he is on a separate standard of guidelines and violations. Otherwise, they should have and would have. Many people in the live chat say that I have reported you. So you know he's been reported multiple times. Finally, after about a week of this shit, they finally gave him one strike. They should have given him all 3 strikes and terminated the channel. Why they haven't is the biggest question. He is being used as a tool of some sort. Like they just kept giving him enough rope to hang himself with. Like they might use him as a way to silence everyone else. All they need is one crazy lunatic to go do something that makes news headlines and then show you their social media profile and say, oh, this person was all hopped up on conspiracy theories and was listening to this guy. Just like videos, there's fakes put out in order to discredit the real videos. A few fake UFO videos discredits 1,000 real ones. They allow people like this to do stuff like this to where it discredits anyone who is a sane, rational, reasonable person who sees a problem with some of these things. But do not let the spirit of vengeance overcome you. And he has definitely been possessed by a spirit, if you will. The spirit that's raging within him in these videos is going to consume him.